Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli back with another review video, and for this one, continuing on with the Muppets Marathon, and we are in fact going to review The Muppets Wizard of Oz. That's right, The Muppets Wizard of Oz. So, this is kind of an interesting one, and I think this one's okay. Here's a little interesting, fun facts, because I remember reading this, that actually The Wizard of Oz, that is, of course, 1939, etc., was one of Jim Henson's favorite movies, actually. And yeah, the Muppets would do something Wizard of Oz. Like, I think one time they did it on the Muppets Tonight series, I'm pretty sure. I think that's what they did, and Miss Piggy was Dorothy, I'm pretty sure. And I guess Fozzie was the lion, I guess. I don't know. I really can't remember. All I know is that I remember, maybe a picture or something, I didn't really watch it, but of Miss Piggy as Dorothy, so. But now, of course, the Muppets, they of course finally done basically a TV movie of Wizard of Oz, and of course the Muppets Wizard of Oz. And I think it's decent, from with the Muppets, of course, the guest stars they have, and Ashanti as Dorothy Gale, I think she does okay. She's not too bad. She is a fantastic singer, and with her singing and such in the movie, you have some of the other characters like Queen Latifah and what's his face. They play her aunt and uncle. They're pretty good. And what's his face? I remember he was in Jumanji. You remember he was in Jumanji, the policeman. You know what I'm talking about. But I forget his name. But he even played, I'm pretty sure, the lion. Because here's the thing. Muppets Wizard of Oz also shares a bit of resemblance, a bit of nod to Wiz. If you guys remember that, So, and he was, I think, the Cowardly Lion. I think he was, yeah, so. But yeah, I think, I don't see why not. Because obviously, I'm sure the fact he was the Cowardly Lion, it fits pretty well. He does pretty good playing the Cowardly Lion. So, anyway, and a shot Dorothy, she wants to get out basically and be a singer and such. And actually she comes across, she goes to the Muppet, to where the Muppets are, I forget what it is, and we get an appearance by, oh god, what's his face? I forget his name, but he's the British actor. He would even do the voice of Zazu in a couple of Lion Kings, and a couple of stuff of the Lion King, so I forget his name. And we see the Muppet bus, and we see Kermit, Rizzo, Bean Bunny, and Miss Piggy. Dorothy catches Kermit and such. She hands her a CD of her singing, etc. And then later on, a Twister is going to be coming in and such. And yet, because with the Twister, etc., they head to the shelter and everything else, but Dorothy goes back for Toto, that is, the shrimp and such, and the fish tank. The Twister grabs a hold of the house, they crash and such, and of course she ends up in Oz. So, and Toto transforms into basically, Pepe the King Prong, hola. It's funny he plays Toto. He's pretty funny in this. Of course, we see the Munchkins, which are the rats, and Rizzo being the leader of them, being the lead Munchkin, I guess, And with the witches, they're all Miss Piggy, basically. Basically, yeah. The good witches and the bad witches, basically. And so, of course, later on, the silver slippers, the silver shoes, and as they are in the actual book, silver shoes, not ruby slippers, that is, They're from the book, the silver shoes, so, Anyway, so, of course, we come across, Kermit as the Scarecrow, Gonzo's the Tin Man, and Fozzie as the Cowardly Lion. And also, of course, one part is that, some of the songs in there, I can't remember, the Munchkins have a little song, One for All, da-da-da, and a song with Kermit, Fozzie, Gonzo, Dorothy, and Pepe, and, Toto, that is. Well, I'm still going to call him Pepe. You get the idea. Even get an appearance of Stadler and Waldorf. They're these monsters. They heckle those who, are trying to cross the log and such, and yet down below like a cliff and such, whatever. And so, and then of course, the poppies, and which is Poppy Field. It's funny. It's like a nightclub or whatever it is, and yet it causes them to sleep still. The Electric Mayhem and Clifford make cameos. The Munchkins / Rats help get the Cowardly Lion and Dorothy out of there, while Scarecrow and Gonzo, Scarecrow and the Tin Man, they're perfectly fine. They get Toto out of there. Toto's holding a roll of toilet paper as a pillow, basically. Then they make their way to Oz, of course, and of course Sam the Eagle is there, I guess at the door, can I help you, etc. And then we see Scooter. I forget what he's supposed to be. I guess like the first officer, not first officer, but to help take the wizard's place, in case like any appointments or anything like that. Of course, the gang, they meet the Oz one at a time, starting with the Cowardly Lion, and yet I think I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's in the actual, I can't remember, I think it is in the actual book, because every time they meet the wizard, it's like a different person or something. For the Cowardly Lion / Fozzie, it's a dragon, kinda, and then when Kermit meets the wizard, it's like a big ball of flaming fire, with a face. And at one point, I remember Kermit says, are you related to, or could you be related to Frank Oz, A little, a nod to Frank Oz, his last name has the word Oz. Funny. And of course, when Gonzo meets the wizard, it's a beautiful woman and such, but of course Gonzo prefers a chicken, And then Dorothy meets like this ugly, looks like an ogre kind of head, Same thing with Pepe. Then they come across, they make their way to where the witch is, Of course, Miss Piggy being the witch, she has like a diamond and such, like kind of a magnified, like can see, I forget the word I'm looking for, but I'm sure you know what I mean. And of course, the eye patch, she's kind of, the way that Piggy is dressed as the Wicked Witch of the West is kind of cool, motorbike gear and such, and hence with the rest of her henchmen as bikers, and their bikes can fly, etc. Sweetums, Johnny and Sal the monkey there, Angela Ree, if I'm saying, what's his face, and as I mentioned in my review of Muppet Treasure Island, like Angela Ree has another big part next with Johnny and Sal, the henchmen, and of course Miss Piggy, the witch, or as I should say, the Wicked Witch of the West has her song, the witch is in the house, They capture the Cowardly Lion, Dorothy, and Toto, leaving the Tin Man Scarecrow behind. They basically, destroyed them, tearing up the Scarecrow and causing the Tin Man to lose his arms and parts, his head. The bikers, Angela Ree and somebody else, another biker, they spin around, causing Gonzo's head to spin like crazy and pop off, It's funny. And also, we cut back to the witch's castle and planning to cut off her legs and such with the silver shoes, both to her and Pepe for some reason. The Cowardly Lion makes his way out, gets out of the cell, of the cage and such, by tricking the henchmen, wanting the keys and a magic trick, Owa, Tafu and such. And then there's a big battle, kind of like a face-off or battle against her, Miss Piggy, the Wicked Witch of the West, that is, and with the rat munchkins come in, then there's a little fight between Dorothy and the witch, and then, the witch kind of backs up and and then out of nowhere, we randomly jump cut to Quentin Tarantino, that is. Oh, I think his appearance in this, the sequence with him in The Muppets Wizard of Oz is probably one of my favorites in the Muppets Wizard of Oz. It's just hilarious, Quentin Tarantino, and from what I think, he loves the Muppets, and even I remember watching on YouTube a clip of him when he was on Conan O'Brien at the time of Muppets Wizard of Oz, and talking about some of his favorite Muppets that he wanted to take pictures with, and I remember seeing that on the DVD, behind the scenes, Pepe interviewing Tarantino, and you see, because during behind the scenes or whatever, he's taking pictures with Sam the Eagle, Ralph the Dog, Janice, and the Swedish Chef, 4 of his favorite Muppets, that is. And, like, Ralph is, like, his #1 favorite Muppet, that is, you know? And he even mentioned, like, saying, you know, he gave Janice a gave her a big smooch on the lips. It's funny. Yeah, Janice has big lips, you know? But anyways, and Tarantino's appearance, like, he's basically just describing Kermit about the scene, like, you know, and then, just as Dorothy and the Wicked Witch, you know, bam, you know, I'm talking explosions, you know, burn, baby, burn, you know, and also bringing up, like, say, anime kind of style, we're talking Piggy transforming into Gonzo, mutating into Scooter turning into a big, busty vampire who explodes and bursts into blood, etc. And then, of course, it all comes down when Tarantino just, like, you know, Dorothy Gale goes to kick the Wicked Witch. You know, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? In the face. You know, and like Kermit's like, oh, now that we can do. And like, yes. And then we cut back to the film and Dorothy kicks the witch in the face. She goes flying, twirling, you know. Well, not twirling, like kind of spinning or whatever. Lands in the water, bath water and such. And like Miss Pig and the witch, like, what kind of water is this? And they apparently use some kind of water that doesn't agree with the witch or something, you know, and she thinks she's melting at first, but no, she's getting skinny, and then, you know, oh, nuts, and like, and she basically, I guess, dies or something, I guess, well, gets skinny at first and then melts, so, you know, and then the bikers, they suddenly are happy and such, and, like, Angela Ree, like, says, you know, oh, the witch put us under a spell, etc. And now they're under her, they're now under Dorothy's command. They go pick up the Scarecrow and Tin Man, put them back together, and they make their way back to Oz without the glasses, and they see that, you know, it's just, like, backstage kind of stuff or whatever, you know, like, even Fozzie's like, you know, this is what I was afraid of? Well, because you had to have the glasses on. And even with Dr. Bunsen, Honeydew, and Beaker, oh, Nita, I almost forgot to mention them, you know, because they were demonstrating the glasses, etc. Like, oh, you shouldn't be wearing the glasses, it will burn your eyes, etc. So, and it doesn't, you know. And, oh, God, what's his face? I think his first name is Jim, but, you know, who apparently is the Wizard of Oz, basically. He makes an appearance in that, and, later on, of course, there's like a big like television like kind of special or whatever, giving each and every one of them what they want and such. Like, of course, Scarecrow, a brain, the Cowardly Lion, courage, the Tin Man, a heart, but also Camilla comes in, and Dorothy having her own son number, but she says, you know, stop, and like, I forget what she says, but then they make their way back to the Munchkin Village, and then, like, she says her goodbye. She gives command of the flying monkeys to Sal, the monkey, that is, you know, basically the hat that the Wicked Witch wore, now Dorothy wears, and now she gave to Sal. She says goodbye to all of her friends, and even the Scarecrow / Kermit falls in love with one of the other witches. I think it's the witch, yeah, the Witch of the South. Yeah, that's right. She's like she has pom-poms, if I remember correctly. And Dorothy says goodbye to Pepe. Pepe / Toto stays behind. Dorothy comes back to Oz. Not Oz. To Kansas. Reunites with her aunt and uncle. Kermit is there, and, like, he told them that, you know, because he listened to her singing, etc. And then, of course, she joins Kermit, etc. And that the final song, it's a good life, blah, blah, blah. All the Muppets are singing as well. And we even get an appearance of Steve Whitmire and Dave Goelz. They're in the restaurant such that Dorothy had worked with her aunt and uncle. So, and then the movie ends, you know. Muppets Wizard of Oz, I gotta say, I think it's okay. It's not too bad. And it was actually, I also remember reading, it was one of the last Muppet projects that the Jim Henson Company worked on, you know, along with Disney, etc. So, you know. But anyways, and for Muppets Wizard of Oz, I give it 7 out of 10 stars. I give it 7 out of 10 stars. That's still good, okay? To 7 to 8 and 9, that's good. That's still good, you know? When it's like 6, if I give, like, say, 6 out of 10, that's the one where it's like, okay, you know, but 7 out of 10 stars is still good, so, you know. So again, 7 out of 10 stars for the Muppets Wizard of Oz, because again, I think it's okay. I do like it and enjoy it. I remember watching this a lot, you know, when I was little, etc., you know. And you guys let me know what you think of the Muppets Wizard of Oz. And even shout out to Trent Martin. He he told me, like, he asked me if I was going to do this, etc., review Muppets Wizard of Oz, and yet I was. It was going to be part of the Muppets Marathon, and thus it is, so. But anyways, so again, with that said, 7 out of 10 stars for the Muppets Wizard of Oz. I hope you guys enjoyed this review video. More new review videos coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video / review video. Take care, and peace out.